you have some guy in Taipei that's like, oh, I want to invest into this, and he sees it on the web just because he was searching on it, and you were one of the first four, I mean, you got the business also.
And then also because part of that is because, okay, for example, I'm selling a property right now in Naperville.
Yep.
All right. We think we have a buyer coming up in the next week or two. We're going to take it down. Then I might have, but I mean, like, for example, I have another property in Arlington Heights. How do you best, I mean, because those properties change all the time.
That's what the refresh is for. That's what we offer to refresh the SEO.
Okay.
Like, that's our monthly packages. We go in, we show you the analytics, we see how everything is doing, and we refresh it to your needs.
And how much is the refresh?
That's something we're still working on a price point for.
Yeah, it's very custom. That's something where I think the best thing, and Andy's asking, I think, looking like, how do I walk in there and tell a price? If they need a price, sell them that entry thing. Give them a taste. If they haven't already bought off on the value of SEO,
then don't talk about refresh.
give them the $4.97. Let them know that we've already We already put discounts. We knew you wanted discounts, so it's $6.97. If you don't want to show it to them, let them know you're taking $200 off.
Okay. No, that's fine. I love this. Trust me, this is gonna be.
I know.
This is every single person that I talk to. I'm gonna go through this tonight, and every single person I talk to is gonna see this as we go. I'm gonna be walking in like this almost. I mean,
don't you feel proud carrying this? I know I do.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I have to be honest. Like I told you, I did some door to door for some credit card processing recently, and you walk in and you just don't really know how to start. I walk in with something like this. Eloy, I don't know if you hear me or not, because I'm assuming you.
Eloy, you there?
Yeah, man, I've been here the whole time.
Dude, this is awesome. I love the guy holding the earth, and trust me, I'm gonna be having this face up so it can be a conversation starter.
I appreciate it. Hopefully it gives them the impression that you're giving them something big, like, oh, finance.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's because it's so far out from every other. You know what? I could go on with this versus if I went into that guy yesterday, I bet you I probably could have sold it with something like this. Just looking at this, probably would. I know there's some stuff that I gotta do, but I'm sure it would have just made such a greater value proposition to him, saying, "Look at what we've done just for our sales manual, not on your website."
Additionally, the proposal format that Luis made is something we're looking to have professionally provided in a glossy 11 by 17. After Tut gives his final marketing blessing and everything on it, it looks real solid, and I think that gives you an additional level of professionalism that you could print out a cover letter with and just take that as a glossy.
Yeah.
Or, like he did the other day, and provide it custom with a cover for your client. If it's something that if you're walking in to position something for $1,000 or more, which you should always be when you're taking your time in the field, always in your head thinking $1,000 or more,
Okay.
call Luis. Skype him. Send him a note and say, I'm going into this client. I need these proposal covers. This is the industry. This is what I need done. And don't hesitate to ask, because it's in all of our best interest to do this. Go ahead.
I'm listening to you.
So that's the main thing, is we need to learn throughout today on how to best leverage our resources. Something that Andrew will recognize different from the past is stuff previously would always go through me for proposals, doesn't always have to anymore. We have a CRM that we can use to collaborate. I'm not the always point of contact. We have Alex for everything SEO. Feel free to go with him direct to comprise codes. We're all very open about what we get paid and everything too. I'm on the same comp plan. We'll go through that later.
Yep. And I'll go through more of the CRM and how we'll all utilize everything together a little bit later. But yeah, we have a really great platform set up where it's basically transparent. Like, everybody has everything at the same time. No, like, oh, did you send me this yet? It's always there, and you'll be able to see our progress and our leads and all of that.
So basically, if the customer calls, all I need to do is look online and see where you're at.
Yeah.
And that's we had that in mortgages, and trust me, that and I could think of so many times I'd have to contact my processor, otherwise say, let me get back to it in 5 minutes. Otherwise, I basically go in there and do that, because that's awesome.
Yeah, and a little bit about social media. I know Darren wanted me to see how you guys can pitch it, but social media is great publicity also. I mean, you create a Twitter for them. You can set like a special coupon, like if you come in with this tweet, you guys can get like a special 10% discount. And Twitter's awesome because it's localized and global. So if you have a franchise and you really want to push it up, you wouldn't have to worry, because if you send out a mass tweet, like, oh, you get these special discount coupons and pop a link to a picture of a coupon, your image globally will be affected by it. which is awesome.
Okay.
And
I love that. So big. Okay.
yeah, and it's more dwelling into the Web 2.0, new generation stuff. A lot of websites I see are still, they have that 95 look on them, where it's like just real plain, they don't have much style, but people have to realize that more stuff is going into phones and into internet, and it's all becoming more of this cloud where everything's interconnected. So you can broadcast your image through YouTube, we can have that set up to you, and it's just a powerful tool for branding, for your image, and for optimization also.
Okay.
And then I'll let Darren take it away.
Unless you have any other further questions, but we could definitely brainstorm more as you guys get your heads into the SEO game. All right, cool. Alex, thank you very much. So at this point, guys, we're going to be switching over to Eloy Claudio. Because he's working remotely, that's why I'm holding the speaker and other devices. I'll be handling this right now. So, Eloy, hang on. We're hooking you up with a very loud speaker so the entire universe can hear the great presentation you prepared for our field readiness seminar.
The amazing presentation that is mostly going to take place in the question and answer session, because what's important is hoping that you guys just understand what I do and how to sell what I do. So I'm just going to ask you to let me know what you don't know. Creative.
All right, Mr. Creative here. Here's how this game's played. You are now presenting, and I will be controlling everything from this remote keyboard.
Where do we go in the book?
For the book, you should be going to page 2 or something, I believe. I'll check the book in just a minute.
I'm on the ground. Am I going to stay down here?
Yeah, hang on a sec, dude. Yeah, hang on. All right, so we have something doing something.
Are we good? Are we good?
I'm turning off this other camera because it seems silly to just record an easel.
Well, I'm watching it. It's very interesting. It's very stimulating.
Really?
Can't see it.
Can you hear audio
Yeah.
on the Ustream?
Let me see this.
I think I could, but
I have a. I get a.
That's not clear.
Here, use my wallet if you want, or.
Oh, it's just too much light
Yeah.
coming from
Here.
the top.
No, just shut the windows a little more. How's that?
Yeah,
A little better.
Okay,
It's
good.
hard to. It's not.
Well, he doesn't need to read it.
Yeah,
Or I
you
guess
know.
he does. I don't know.
I don't need to read it. I guess I should start the same way Alex started. You guys should know my name by now, Eloy Claudio. And what I do for the company is I design. I manage the imagery, the
That's
graphic
horrible.
designing. I've been doing this for about 3 years freelance. I've been an artist since I was a small child, and I attended business school for about a year and a half. So that's how I started on this path, in case I haven't told you anything about me. I think when you're positioning what we do, or this service, as a company, this service as a company, it's essentially I would say the most important part of a business succeeding is how they represent their image. Because it's not a picture, it's not a hat trick, it's communication. And my specialty is really communicating, on an aesthetic basis. There's a reason that a woman with red lipstick will get more attention from a man versus a woman without makeup. And this is the kind of effect that I'm gonna have, or that I have, and that we try to succeed with.
If he's talking to you.
graphic design and illustration.
Hey, Eli, I was just thinking, as long as you're talking to the guys, why don't we make it so you could see who you're talking to? So we're changing the focus here. Why are we recording a video of a guy on a call? Here you go.
We also have Andrew.
Great. The camera change kind of made me forget what I was saying there.
I'm sorry.
Are you talking about lipstick and how it can affect, different moods?
Yes, a woman with red lipstick. You react differently to that color, right? The same psychological impact that a woman with red lipstick has.
I prefer mauve.
is everything we see. Everything that we see becomes a form of communication visually. And that's really the specialty, and that's what we're offering these businesses. Successful marketing campaigns are based on how you display your image, you know. Alex's specialty is making you found on the web, because there's no point in looking pretty unless people can see you. That's why you go outside when you get dressed and you put your nice suit on, and you're not wearing jeans, you're wearing a suit and slacks and everything. And my specialty is simply to make it look good. And I think that this is something that should be pretty easy to sell, because everyone understands this, you know. Be it at a simple level or a complicated level, everyone understands that you have to communicate visually. Now, the key is how to do it, you know. Of course, the way I do it is through understanding, you know, art and illustration, understanding and researching visual communication. I guess that's why you call me an artist. And it's really that simple.
But you see how he's phrasing it, though, with visual communication, guys? It's not just somebody drawing a graphic. It's about getting that message across. What we do is extremely congruent, whether it be coming up with a concept of a corporate identity or brand, whether it be making sure people find it by phrase words, which really help to define your feeling about that brand, or most importantly, what Eloy does is he paints that picture of the brand. He helps to create that feeling. Once Alex's skill gets them to the site, if not for what Eloy does, they would have no clue. Their feelings could be different. They can get to the site and there's big red spikes. You don't feel like it's an adoption agency. There's ways to really impact it, and that's his gift.
Graphic choice for a website.
And I'm sorry, did he say something?
No.
Oh well. And that's really the important thing. I mean, like what Darren just said, is really embodying the message that they want to communicate to them visually. And to, you know, this is not an opinion, this is really just business. You sink or swim. You know, first impressions stay with people. What they see when they pass by your restaurant is will allow a person to decide whether or not they want to walk in or not, you know? And that's what we want to offer them for the web. You know, businesses spend a lot of money on advertising and things like that. We have a package that's about $500 for a 3-page website that gives them this position on the web. You know, it's self-advertisement that allows them to communicate with really an infinite amount of potential clients. And the good thing is that when you're selling this, you're not just selling, oh, we're just going to do websites. A lot of people do that. They sell websites. Oh, we do nice, pretty design. No, we're selling you a way to increase your profit.
Guys, this is the main reason you need to pay attention to Eloy and what he's doing here. The point being, we're not just cranking out a website. 95% of the web companies out there, if not 99, are merely going and using pre-made templates by someone else. You can buy these from Template King all day long, so I get a commission. However, we have a real artist who creates real concepts. I like templates and I use them all day long to make real artists like Eloy pissed off that it looks good. It doesn't look awesome, but they do look good. Now, are we selling sites that look good? No. We're selling the ability to have something that is awesome at explaining your message and invoking feeling. There's a difference with selling the value of a Regillo website versus a turnkey cranked template solution.
Yeah, and you do that by understanding how people react to imagery. You do that by analyzing the industry. You do that by researching the target audience. You know, obviously you market differently to a 40-year-old person that, I don't know, has an interest in golfing most of his time versus a 20-year-old person that likes going out and listening to music. I'm obsessed with the way Apple markets, and basically that's what we're offering to these small businesses. You know, something that large corporations pay everything. They're heavily based on, they have teams of people who do this. And we're telling a small business that you have this accessible to you to increase your profits at an affordable price point. And they should realize, once you sell it properly, that without this, they're not going to expand. If they're small, they're going to stay small. But no one wants to stay that way. Everyone wants to increase their profits. Everyone wants to make more money. And this is the only way to do it, by hiring us.
Only way to make more money is to hire us.
If you want to do it right, yes. If you want to piss away money to some marketing firm that's just stepping into the social media age, or do you want to take a company that naturally was recognized as a social media leader? Last I checked, without trying, I became the most followed person on Twitter in Chicago. You know who else is in the top 10? Regillo. Regillo as a corporation is not only measured in the top 10 just because of the quantity of followers, big deal. The influence of Regillo is actually tracked in Twitter Greater as a separate entity next to mine.
Really?
Regillo is tracked in Greater at an entity level. It is incredible. It is a very unique phenomenon I've only seen with Starbucks, Whole Foods, and other giant companies. Our corporation, gentlemen, has this inherent success. What we need to do to capitalize on this is purely let people know we've been doing this for a long time. It's nothing new. It's not, hey, we're a traditional PR and marketing firm and now we heard about freaking Facebook, or we can be a Twitter expert because we read a book by some douchebag out there who wrote a book. Guys, we're here inventing the future. We got the best people. I handpicked each of you here to be part of this corporation. The reason that you're all here today is you bring the best at what you do. The reason that Alex was handpicked to come on board is his unique set of skills and his ability to articulate it. He doesn't only walk the walk. This man does talk the talk. It's a rare, unique thing. People have often recognized me as somebody who is intelligent yet articulate, because normally computer engineers like myself, or whatever I used to be, can't explain what they do. And that's something I recognized right away with Alex. He explains as he goes naturally in a non-condescending manner, something I outgrew years ago. And I think he truly could do that better than I can at this point. Honestly, that was much more how I was maybe 5 years ago, and as I progressed into being more sales focused, I recognized the need to get someone to bring that. When it comes to graphics, yeah, I got some skills, I got some passion, I love playing around. I met a man who does it better than me. I met the guy who I personally hire for my top websites. How many websites do I have? Hundreds. How many does Eloy work on? The ones that I care most about. Websites that have been my brand for 15 plus years, such as Homemade Wine or even My Iguanas or anything like that, the mastermind groups. And this is who I go to as my most valued, trusted art assistant to my needs. Now, when we spoke about taking our relationship further just over a week ago, and it just was a conversation where I said, Eloy, I got to tell you, in the past 20 months, my earnings came from selling ebooks and little websites. And I'm going to focus Regillo on something that's been recognized in the media for, in the Trib, the Times, and others, and something that we've done somewhat for 15 plus years and recognized for doing. However, let's get rid of the network side of it. Let's get rid of the break fix. Let's get rid of the stuff that brings us pain. Let's focus on only solving the pain of others. Networks was that for a while. However, after a while, it became too much pain. Traveling internationally and getting a call at 4 a.m. yelling at me because some guy tripped over an Ethernet cable in Salterbeck, that kind of stuff is from the past. Now people can call us and say, gentlemen, we got a new marketing campaign. Gentlemen, we need to get our engines cranking here because we want everyone to find us under this brand. Hey, by the way, guys, instead of investing $1,600 a month in coupon mailers, could we buy one of your $500 sales pages every month that we can use for our specials that lives online? That sounds like a great investment, because unlike your 1.4% return on investment with a postcard or other direct mail piece, guess what, guys? This stuff's measurable. We have actual true metrics from the moment we begin the campaign to the moment that they realize they're getting more business. There is no doubt in my mind that what we brought together with this trifecta team of sourceability here is to give you guys complete confidence that you could take the show on the road. We are not just Darren, Alex, and Eloy here either at the helm. Rest confidently that we also have others. We already have a graphic assistant that's on call anytime Eloy needs. I personally have a team of 18 individual outsourced resources that I have worked with over the past 12 years around the globe, throughout Egypt, Italy, Australia, Indonesia. And these people, and Kentucky, these people specialize in things from PHP to WordPress to doing specific skill sets on coding. I got a guy working on my Twitter app. So in addition to the team here, if there's any doubt in your mind of, well, this sounds great, but can they really handle it? Fuck yes.
I would like to second that with another fuck yes.
Alex?
Fuck yes.
So, Eloy, I want you to ride this thunder, man. I am so proud to be working with all of you. I will tell you, the idea of having Eloy on the team to make decisions on art has been something for me that's been, I shared with a close friend of mine yesterday, Devora, a close friend of Andrew's as well. And And she recognized that I'd reached out to Alex and Eloy a little bit more than I would traditionally in a newer relationship. Now, she quickly realized why. And she also recognized it as almost a therapeutic growth for me. And she said, this is odd. She goes, you've never been one to, one, acknowledge others publicly as smarter than yourself. I said, well, you I have. She said, the other thing is, she says, this is pretty impressive. You're able to step away from control. She goes, what changed? She goes, I've known you a long time and you're a control freak. And she's right, especially running Regillo, I have to admit. However, I shared with her what changed. What changed for me, guys, was a week ago. 1 week ago, I was talking with Alex and Eloy on Skype. And my girlfriend was throwing up. It was awful. She's feeling awful. She goes, please come to bed with me. I want you to hold me. And I can't let my woman down with a request like that. I said, Alex, Eloy, I gotta go. My girlfriend needs me. Do what you can. When I went to bed and I rose up and I ran to my PC at like 5:59 as I knew I had to have that proposal in an hour, these guys stayed up all night. Not only did they make the proposal, they managed to play a practical joke on me. That was amusing as I played one back and we had some fun. Most importantly, I realized that Regillo had a heartbeat outside of my soul, outside of my body. It was like, you've been around for years helping, and I like, hey, let's work on this. It was me literally walking away and them saying, what are we supposed to do? I think this is what we're supposed to do. Let's rock it. And then they took it further. They took something I started 18 years ago, the original Regillo invoice. The original from 18 years ago that landed us our first deal. Our first deal was a close. And our first deal this week as a new team, we closed a deal yesterday, guys. We closed our first deal yesterday as the team that we are. And I wanted to see you guys get a piece of this pie.
What deal is that?
We closed Midwest Coral Farms
We did.
for $1,600 for our very first deal together.
Nice.
All of us get a piece of that pie. And it's kind of exciting that the very first deal we set out to win as a team, we won. To me, as a president, the fact that I walked away from a meeting, something very hard for me to ever do, was amazing feeling to come back, and this feeling of gratitude and appreciation towards Alex and Eloy for pulling us off, and for me personally to be able to step up and say, you know what, let me run this company. I got other people who run the parts of the company they run, and that feels awesome. And I'm hoping by the end of today, Andy and Andrew, let's all figure out our parts. Big or strong or small or whatever part they are, let's find out where we can all work together. The three of us in 1 week invented something new and closed new business, and all three of us have earned more money than we probably have the rest of the year. We're going to change that real quick because here's the deal. We want to make sure everybody in this team is pulling in $300 a day. That's our 3-month goal. Once you hit $300 a day, you're in the 6-digit club. That's it. And that's where we are striving to get you guys to. That's it. That's the first point. In 3 months, I want to see you earning $300 a day. That's it. It's that simple. It's great money. If you could start off making $100 a day, well, that's fantastic. You keep your lights on and you're still eating. And that's what it's about, guys. We've been sitting around being intelligent men with a lot of dreams, a lot of passion to help others, and a lot of need to help ourselves. We have every ingredient we need to bake this pizza.
I like pizza.
I love
I also
pizza.
like making the pizza look pretty.
Eloy, can you tell me a little bit about some of the challenges you've encountered when you've worked with different kind of customers, things that you think that Andrew and Andy may run into in the field, or maybe just some thoughts on the whole world of art that could help them to better get you some qualified leads?
Well, to be precise, it's art and design as it relates to business. It's not creative art and design, it's not Van Gogh or anything. It's art and design as it relates to business. The kind of things that you'll likely meet up with when you're dealing with clients, it's really a mixed bag. One of the biggest things you have to do when you're dealing with clientele or potential clientele is just to try to understand where they're heading with the ideas in their head. Because you're going to meet different people that some of them don't understand what they want. Sometimes you have to tell them what they need. Others, they want to control the image heavily. So one of the big things you have to deal with is essentially asking them the right questions and just managing them during the conversation. There you go. That looks good.
Yeah. Oh, you should talk about how you put your business sense into
Yeah.
into the design?
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant by, art and design, as it relates to business, I left business school to be an entrepreneur, and I pretty much just sit here studying everything that has to do with design, marketing, and just, industries, communications. I use the red lipstick example because it's a loose thing that I think most men can relate to. But really, what the goal is, to have a client say, I want to communicate with 22-year-olds from this area, and I want these people to come to my store. And the answer is, Regillos will find a way to get these people to notice your business and then spend their money with you. In terms of, because Darren asked a really specific question, the kind of problems you're going to find when dealing with different clients, it's kind of hard to specify. I think the most important thing is still, all in all, so that there's no communication problems, is getting them to communicate with you what they want, and at which point Regillo will handle the rest. But
How do
I
you
would
interact
like,
with clients?
Oh. Yeah, we got Andrew Todd has a question, sir.
yeah.
How do you prefer to interact with customers?
It's a difficult question for me because it depends. For me, it depends on the person, and Andy's going to be doing it a little different from the way I normally do it.
But I think what his question is, we're basically your field agents at this point. Now, I think you, me, and Alex have already built this, like, whatever, Skype, like, joined at the hip, something or other lately. For Andrew and Andy, who aren't always on the Skype as much as we are, what's the best way for them, as we formulate this now, this is not defined already, what's the best way for them to bring deals? My thought was they would send an email to Regillo at Google Groups, therefore all of us who wanted to see it would get it, but more importantly, the CRM. If the CRM is used for everything, Andrew, and you're at a customer and you put their data in there, you should be able to put task, Eloy, proposal.
So we do need to bring our BlackBerry with us to do that then.
No, you can also go to a Starbucks after your meeting and type it in. You can go into your Outlook and build a contact and sync it if that's your preferred methodology. The main thing is, if we use the CRM, or initially the Regillo at Google Groups, until we get the CRM 100%, that's okay. The CRM is meant to do this.
Let me ask this question a different way. Is Eloy customer facing?
Yes.
The way you phrased it, he's not.
He is customer facing, but not visually. Over the phone, always. You can bring him with on Skype or on telephone.
Eloy, are you comfortable with that? I don't know you very well. I don't know what clients you work with and how you, that was my question. How do you interact with customers?
As long as you give me a heads up, I'm comfortable helping anyone in Regillo's close or succeed in anything that they're working on, actually. So yeah, I have no problem with that, because sometimes it's necessary to talk directly to the designer. And if that makes it easier for the potential client to feel comfortable working with us, then bring me along. I mean, I've been working freelance for like 3 years, so my normal interaction is directly to the client. Normally, I generate the interest. I tell them, this is what I do. They tell me what they might need, and we have this kind of back and forth. I don't mind coming along with that while we're doing this with Regillo.
Who are some of the people you've done freelance for, so I can take a look at some of your work that's already out there?
I've worked with a lot of small businesses and specific people. I'd have to give you the links like in an email or something. I can't start telling you the links here, unless you have a computer right in front of you.
Yeah, we do. Mine just started pulling up advertisements for the Wolfman over Andrew Tutt's face. Seriously. But yeah, we could bring up your sites if you want, or.
Well, here's one right now that I've been. This is a long-standing client of mine that I had to recently tweak their sites. Simple, and I'm actually still working on it now because we're opening a new thing with them. Sofre Atelier.
What is it?
SOFREH.
Yeah.
ATELIER.com, I believe.
Okay, I'm going to pull it up on the screen. Andrew's going to walk over and see it as opposed to screwing around with the HDMI again.
Curious.
Here.
Now, this is a site that my client is very happy with because this is based on the client specifications, what they said they needed, the kind of image they wanted, and, you know, all the functionality they need. This is based on a CMS, so they can edit all the pages themselves.
And you did the Regillo's page also, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
if you guys seen the designs that he, the mock-ups he did also for.
The guys, everything you're holding in your hand, well, the white book is me, but everything you're holding in the flip book here was designed by Eloy, except for your photos, which were designed by Nishant. Everything here is Eloy. Keep in mind, we do print now too. There's no limitation.
If the question is whether or not I'm an artist, then I think you should look at my DeviantArt page, which I'm still in the process of loading things up.
No, that was not the question. The question was, how do I bring you to a client? That was my question. How do you work best with a client? I assume you're an artist because I trust Aaron to some degree, and that he's not going to generally pick flaky people. Generally.
All right.
Sometimes.
Did you see the mock-up for Masterminds groups?
For what?
Masterminds groups, the purple site. I keep.
Yeah, with the monsters.
What was that squish
I'm
noise?
actually a little confused with the question. How to best bring me to the client, and can you describe the situation where you would have a problem understanding what to do next?
Hey, broccoli or something?
what are you feeding him?
Broccoli, I guess.
Apparently broccoli does not go well
Oh,
with lizards.
wow. Anyway, there was a bowel movement experienced by the group. Moving back to seriousness, I see where Andrew's coming from. You guys haven't ever worked directly together. This is your first voice conversation, perhaps, unless you guys happen to bump into each other on a team call. What is the way for Andrew to go out with confidence and say, I work with this awesome web branding business graphic dude?
No,
Is he
that
asking for web design examples?
no.
I think for-
My question's been answered.
Okay.
We can move on.
And you're happy with the answer?
Yeah.
Satisfied?
Yes.
If you ever need
Okay.
to say, what does he do? We just...
That's
Are
true.
there
that
any
was not-
questions, though?
that was
Because
not the
I actually
question.
enjoy the fact that we all try to understand how to function together.
Question after looking at this.
Well, and that's the thing. I think everyone today, it's very important for us to completely talk about how we work together, because that's a very awesome question. How do you work with Andrew? At what point do you say, I need to pull in Mr. Tuck? What point do you, I mean, this is stuff we all need to figure out today. There should not be any questions after today about how to work with each other. That's for certain. I expect lots of questions about, like, brainstorms that come up. But
Even though he said that the question wasn't whether or not I was an artist, I still think he should see some of my DeviantArt, because if he's going to work with me, he should see what I do
Well,
to an extent.
Of course. I mean that. Of course, I want to see some of your samples to even be able to walk in somewhere and say, this is some of the stuff that our artist has done. Walk in with this book,
Yeah.
But our artists have worked on this site, that site, this site.
RegilloWeb.com will be
in
our
their freelance life, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Well, I think this further supports my need to see us have an online portfolio. My suggestion is RegilloWeb.com. It's perfect. And there's already a WordPress blog that's artistic and unbranded. We'll not tell anyone that I set it up. And seriously, let's just put the different projects, even the ones, Eloy, that you've done for me, that's fine. Let's put the homemade wine, the masterminds groups. RegilloWeb.com, gentlemen, going forward, that'll be the portfolio. Regillo Web. You don't have to worry about digging through Regillo.com or Regillo's. They each will have a link to RegilloWeb.com. You want to see our samples, Regillo Web, which to some extent will have this flip book and other stuff too.
And the proposals too.
Exactly.
If you just want to bring him and see, like, our designer is very eccentric. He takes a different kind of spin at things.
Yeah, and that's something too we're going to get into. Luis, do you want to go through the website questionnaire for a minute and talk to the guys? This is perfect segue from what Andrew said. This is a very clear how to work with Eloy. So please, gentlemen, at the very back of either book, you'll find a website questionnaire. It's a 2-page document that I worked on with Constantine and Eloy to come up with. And this is how you're going to work with gathering information from your clientele on their needs. And why don't we go through this from the top? Eloy, do you have it in front of you?
Actually, I do not. I believe you edited the Google Doc. website questionnaire.
It's word for word the same. I just formatted it better because I'm an artist.
Artist of words.
Someone's a little touched.
Yeah, I have this in front of me right now, the Google Doc website questionnaire.
Why don't we run through this? Because this is also good for all four of us in the room on how we could best do information gathering. This is probably good for me too. I mean, let's really run through how we could best get the info ahead of time, so when we talk to you, we don't feel foolish with things like, how many pages do they need? Let's go through this real quick, and if you can lead us.
Well, this, if I'm not mistaken, this questionnaire is for the initial information.
Yeah.
I think the pages they need will be based on the actual what the package they're paying for or what we're selling them. But right here, the real important thing when you're dealing with somebody like this is to get as much information as possible on what the project is actually going to pertain to. Question number one asks, please describe what your company does. I mean, I think that if you're talking to these people and you're writing it down yourself, you have the power to reword it slightly. But the first question is the most basic question. What do you do? What's your name? What do you do? What's your goal as a company? Because at the end of the day, this is what we need to translate into a visual, stimulating website. The question number two is maybe even more important than what you do. Describe the audience that'll visit your site, or your target audience, the people that you want to generate interest in. I think this question is a double question because you're asking, if you don't have a 22-year-old interested in your business, do you want them interested? At which point we'd probably charge, I don't know, more.
And this is good for me also because I'll have more of a sense of demographic for the SEO.
Yeah, also, that benefits him as well.
Wait, hold on, what was that? I'm sorry. Was there?
No, Alex just said that it's good for him because he'll have more of a demographic for search engine optimization.
Actually, can we change this to web SEO?
Of course. So here, I got pens. This we all got pens. So what is it? Web SEO?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's silly. That's a perfect comment. Thank you. Yeah, let's go through this together. If this form's not perfect, well, 95% of it was me and Teen and not Eloy, so I expect it to suck.
I think it hits a lot of the most important points in terms of getting the project information.
Honestly, this is what Regillo used for about 10 years. It's dated but effective, and it works. I mean,
What's a pastel?
Well, yeah, go through the rest of the questions.
Yeah, well, question 3
Pastel
here.
colors.
Yeah.
What's that?
Pastel colors. They're
Pastels. Like some
they're
paintings
light.
are on
It's
pastel.
I've heard of it. I just don't know what it looks like.
Here, I'll pull it up for you.
Sorry.
Well,
no,
no,
that's a
it's-
stupid. I'll check it online later.
yeah, lighter. It's a purple, but it's a
Yeah,
light
like that
purple.
50s kitchen look, like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. I'm good. Sorry.
So, well,
That's why I'm not the artist.
well, no, yeah, you're jumping ahead of yourself too, though, because on here, I mean, there's a question. I know Eloy added this one, or maybe not, about competitors.
Well, first, number 3 is describe your online goals and objective. And the example that we have here is, I would like to be able to obtain additional clients, or I would like to sell my product service online. Question number 3 is really asking, when these people visit your site, you already told us who your demographic, the target audience is. Now the thing is, when we build this website for you, when we build this image, how do you want them to interact with it? When a person goes to your website, do you want them to buy things off of it? Do you want them to just get a newsletter subscription? Do you want them to just, find out about your business? Or do you want them to feel like they need to walk into your restaurant? So that's question number 3. Once we build this for you, what do you want the consumer to take from it?
So what's the action goal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The question that's not numbered here and over here, I'm pretty sure Darren numbered it and everything, is who's your major competitor and do they have a website? This is just really for market research, If I sell sneakers, well, who else sells sneakers that you're trying to destroy? That sounds horrible.
Yeah, it's good for me also.
So that we'll have a better understanding of their industry, their environment, and whether or not their competitor has a website is really important, so that we can take information from that to enhance this business.
What other questions are there, Darren? Because I have the Google Doc and I don't believe it's formatted fully.
It's the same.
You've got business information, and then number B. What do you want
Yeah.
this information to appear? What does that mean? Business information. Is that address?
Yes. Do you want this information to appear is asking, you know, when you give us business name, address, phone, and fax on this website, do you want the contact form section to say, you know, oh, this is our address, this is our phone, and this is our fax, or do you want to just have a contact form? I think that a lot of businesses would opt for yes because they want that professional look, and it has a sense of detachment when a corporation and a business doesn't have like some kind of mailing address.
Now I see what he's saying too, though, because what if it's a company that's launching some kind of like mail order thing or just a new concept? They may not want to have their, you know.
Yeah, they might not want to have it,
I just didn't know if
and that's
something
why
was
that
missing.
question is there.
Because you go 4 and then B.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like
There's
there's
a
something
missing
missing
one.
there. Yeah, it says there's like a 4 and a B. Yeah, it's like where's the A? Was there something else about it?
Mine says A on business name and that information.
Oh, somehow
So
that's
missing
missing.
stuff.
Okay. All right. Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, and you guys print out the same document right here, we have look and feel. These
Yep.
are more in-depth questions. I think that this document could be separated into not two different questionnaires, but the first question that we already went over can be used as an initial meet kind of thing. The rest are more in-depth questions that you want to attain when working on a website. You know, the look and feel, asking them, really breaking down what they want to see in their website, because the last thing you want to do, despite the fact that you have specialists and a team of people who know more about business than whoever you're working for, the last thing you want to do is design something they're not happy with. At the end of the day, you're still, my job is still to make them happy with the image I produce. So you have to ask things like, what look and feel are you aiming for with this website? Are there any color palettes that you have in mind already? Sample sites is number 6 over here, and that's basically, if you've surfed the web, have you seen any other websites that's kind of inspired you before? Are there anything that you're really interested in? Do you see a website with some kind of really, awesome gallery? So really tailor this website to their specific needs.
I think 20.
And I would focus that question on outside of competitors. And I think that's where you're going with Eloy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Number 12. I think 25 is a bit much for them.
We skipped. You went from 6 to 12.
Yeah. No.
Oh, what happened? Well,
On
yeah.
the second page, it goes 6, 12,
Yeah, I
13,
see that.
18.
25 or more.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, what's going on here? So this is a
It
document that
should
needs
be
some
like,
revision, I think.
5.
Yeah, this is
5
ridiculous.
keywords and then the rest
Yeah,
is...
but Alex, wouldn't you be generating most of the keywords, if
Yeah.
any?
Yeah,
because
exactly,
you're the
that's-
specialist at that. They can't give you keywords. They know what they're doing.
Yeah,
No, that's where the phraseology comes in, wouldn't it?
Maybe they want some specific keywords that they want to turn
Yeah.
up for you.
Yeah. But the rest will mostly be on your
Yep.
part. So 5, I think, does sound better, because 25. I mean, I'm gonna come up with 25 words right now if I scratch my head.
Here's what we're going to do for you. We're going to look at your competitor websites. We're going to figure out what keywords they use because their websites are working better than yours.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
And we'll incorporate some of those, but what else, what is important to you? And they will either say use whatever my competitors are using. In addition, here are some other things.
Because at the end of the day, that's exactly what we're selling. Pushing them ahead of their competition, putting them in a place where they can make more money. So that's the kind of information we need. It's it's a little like or a lot like marketing at the end of the day.
That's real effective marketing.
Yeah.
And then they have these last 2 questions, which are really basic, domain names or domain name. Obviously, you want to know what their website's going to be called, www.dogseatdogs.com. And finally, the last one that I see here is any special comments. And I think that's just, leave that open for them to give you a little paragraph of anything that swarms into their brains.
Can I go back to question number 5 for a second?
Question number 5.
Why would anyone want, under number C for mood, why would anyone want a busy site? That just doesn't sound right.
Some people want that.
Yeah, you'll be surprised.
I've had that request. I've had customers
Okay.
want things busier. I don't get it either. The customer's always right. even when they're wrong.
Okay, I'm
And
just.
sometimes
I just thought
busy
that just
doesn't
sounded
mean
like
like-
weird.
It's weird. I agree.
Okay.
It doesn't mean bad though, because I've designed posters, and like, you know, I've had like someone tell me make it busy, and like I mean, of course I have to struggle with that as the designer because I don't want to produce anything too crap. A lot of times my job has to do with going based on what most people's specifications are. But sometimes when people say busy, they just want something kind of upbeat, you know? Maybe we can change that word, maybe, but that's important. That's why we ask this many questions. So when we look at it, we understand what kind of busy they mean. But busy doesn't have to be bad. You know, a club scene may be busy. It doesn't look bad though.
Eli, 1 second. Anyone not eat meat on their pizza? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Good thing I asked. All right. I was about to go like all like
I
two
thought you were
meat.
gonna use that as an example for busy. I'm like.
No. I was just trying to grab the attention that I assume your bellies are getting hungry by now, guys. If not, they will be in a half hour.
Yeah, that left me a little shocked also. I thought he was going to make that into a nice segue. This is what busy means on a pizza. But hey.
I was, because I got green peppers. But hey, speaking of,
The
do you guys
Supreme.
know what kind of paper we use to print your flip book on? Does anyone know what kind of
Is that
paper we
resume?
used? Andrew, do you know?
Goldenrod?
No.
Resume?
Andy, do you know?
Resume?
No. Alex, bring it home.
Banana.
Yes.
Okay.
Your paper is printed on bananas.
Nice.
Really?
Really? Yes, no
Actually, I
shit.
need to ask you a question.
It's
'cause one of
bananas.
the punches were not punched on this, right? So do you have any more banana punches
Banana punches?
or banana pages?
What's
We used the whole ream. Wow.
Did you?
What did we mess up?
Well, no.
I'll
It's just
give-
some
I'll
of the
give you
pages
my
were
book.
falling out because they were coming out of
I'll
here.
give you
so-
my book.
Okay. I didn't want to say it too early, but since we brought up banana pages.
Yeah, no, this should be perfect. Yeah.
I love the
It
design. I
just
just
didn't
they were
get
just falling
punched.
out.
Very well, that's all.
I don't know who punched them.
Is there any more
It's not.
questions?
It's nothing bad. It's just like
Let's not digress, guys.
2 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm not one to point fingers. No, I just we both punch at 2 in the morning, guys. The fact that you got a printed document, I think we
I love
all
this.
deserve some
here.
credit there.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, I was awake at 2 in the morning too.
Should have called. Never could use the hand.
That's right.
I don't know how we're just like bumping into each other at the office.
I just don't want that falling out. when I'm
We
talking
did
to
a
customer.
phenomenal job of getting this done. We in that little office space. We got Eloy on audio.
Thank you.
Alex and I are stumbling around in there with like chairs, and it seems like I don't know forks sticking out. It was really crazy, like an obstacle course from Indiana Jones almost. Somehow we get these and we just looked in awe when we completed it that it was done, and just kind of this
is
acknowledgement of
very
we've
beautiful.
done something good here today. See you in 2 hours.
Is that what you said?
It was pretty
See you in
much.
2 hours.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking awesome, actually, I would say. Since we're digressing a little, Darren,
Those
can
are bandanas.
you
I'm
pull
this
up
far
my
off.
DeviantArt page? I don't think Andy has
Yeah.
seen it and stuff, and I just think that they should.
After the pizza, bro. I'm sorry, but I'm in the middle of ordering a pizza.
Are we on break now?
So we're
Not yet.
pausing right now.
No, we're not on break. I don't want to interrupt. I just had to find out who meat preferences. No, you're still going through web.
we have another viewer.
Who? Me.
Oh.
No. So
How do you see that?
no, I'd like to continue, guys. There's no need to take a break. I don't want to interrupt there. I just want to find out preferences. So as long as we're on preferences, Andrew, pineapple.
No.
Do you eat pizza?
Yes.
What's
I'm
your
a traditionalist.
Your cheese.
You can throw some onion on there or green pepper. I don't eat meat on my pizza.
Nice.
If you're looking for it,
Simple.
I'll eat cheese also. So just if you're looking. for
You're gonna
size.
eat green peppers.
Either way, I don't really care.
Alex and I are having the Brooklyn with giant shaped pepperonis in Eloy's
green
honor.
peppers it is. So
I live in Brooklyn.
Yeah, we're getting the Brooklyn style just in your honor. Yeah, I assume.
Yeah.
And there's really big pepperonis. They look obnoxious.
Really?
Yeah, like
I might have one
obnoxious.
slice then.
Yeah,
So
you're gonna
any
have
more
to.
questions concerning web?
Well, yeah. Let me ask you. At what point do you think that it's most important for the guys to really consider a custom solution versus this canned thing? What exactly are they getting out of a $497 website? I mean, you guys charge $697 for that normally. Is that comparable to like some other guy who charges like $1,000? Tell me what this whole 3-page website deal is. What do I get out of it?
Well, I think we put it really well before when you touched on that earlier when you were saying that businesses spend a lot of money on marketing in shitty local magazines. This is basically internet marketing, but what they get out of it is essentially what they're paying for in a large part is getting that unique, specifically tailor-made, marketable image designed by the team for those 3 pages. And we're going to make sure that those 3 pages, I don't want to repeat myself, so that's why I keep pausing. That's what they're getting out of it. See, that's the basic plan, is those 3 pages are going to basically be your internet marketing face. And it's going to be the most efficient way, one of the most efficient way that they've spent their money, if they have spent their money at all in marketing. Yes, you're raising your hand. I didn't see that till Darren moved the camera over.
Oh, there's a camera on there. Okay. How many round? I know this is up to us as a project manager or client manager to manage. But to Darren and to Eloy, how many revisions are you willing to make for $497?
I believe that we're stopping at 1. 1 revision. That's why we're collecting so much information also.
Up to the number of mock-ups, I'm sorry. Did we say we're going to give them 2 mock-ups and up to 1 revision at that point, right? Or
yes. Yeah, they would get 2 mock-up designs.
Here's our first design.
Like this.
And you can pick one and change it?
Yes.
Yeah, the design process goes, you get the information. Wait, is the Ustream is kind of lagging, so I'm not sure if he's talking.
I'm not talking. I'm quiet. Here's the reason that I'm asking this question, because it's been 11 years. I've sold websites in the past, but I've been in marketing, communications, and advertising for solidly for the last 10 years, and there's always you say 2 revisions and it becomes 3 or 4 or 5. I mean, that's always the bane of the
I know exactly what you mean, and that's one of the frustrations.
Right. So okay, but that's for $497. Hey, you're getting a huge deal for $497.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's
huge deal.
If you want 10 more revisions,
you pay.
Yeah, $100 each.
We're gonna have to take a look at redoing this deal
$100 for each revision afterwards. Yeah.
Because we keep hearing you, and we're presenting back what you're telling us, but you keep changing.
Yeah, because that's how the process is gonna work. Since you said you worked in that field, you probably know. But it's like you take the information and you create these concepts and these mock-ups. They pick one. They say, "Oh, that one looks great. Just make it purple. Do this and get it finalized, and we'll put it up." If at that point they're saying, "Oh, I don't like it," then they have to pay for more.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, for the $997 option here.
Yes, we'll talk a little bit about that.
Content management, is that the blog thing?
It is. I could take this one, guys. Now, not to add any confusion, we actually debated not putting that offer in, but that's one of the offers that I personally bring to the table. It's not completely well defined. It will be better clarified for you with an additional page you'll insert, and that's why we chose to not use a permanent wire bond, but to allow this to be flexible for growth. There's lots more coming. Let me tell you a little bit about the $997 Business Content Management System solution. We're not going to call it a blog. We are going to be offering niche blogs that you sell in addition to this, not instead of. Let me explain. I have developed an art of creating niche WordPress blogs, some that can even blog for themselves, that are beautifully awesome, anchored SEO goodness for my sites. Anytime I make a website, you ever wonder how I show up number 1 overnight? Well, I got tricks. And we're going to give these tricks away. And some of these, seriously, would be $350. You get a custom written 5 articles WordPress blog earning AdSense. So probably earn you more than $300 in a year. Many do for me. And this is also SEO goodness in your niche. Now that's different. That's not in the catalog at all, because that's more like an SEO add-on, and I don't want customers to see that. I want that to be after you sell something and they're kind of waiting to buy more. Well, why don't you get 5 of these $300 things? I mean, we'll do it for $1,500 instead of $350. We'll do them for $300. Feel free to go to $300. That's your discountable. I don't want you guys discounting in the field. I want you doing the upsell discount. You need a discount, upsell discount. What does this mean to you? Well, quite simply, can you guys discount this? No, but we can get you a break on this.
Okay.
And we'll get to that on hosting and everything else later this afternoon. Back on track with the business blogs. For $997, what you're going to get is an actual installation, not only of the latest version of WordPress, but I personally have procured, licensed, written, and otherwise obtained legally my own set of plugins. My own specific set of tools for optimizing SEO, for optimizing your actual trackability, for tracking Google Analytics, and it gets even better.
Well, wait a minute. You said for the $9.97?
Yeah. What you're getting, what I'm building for you and Constantine right now, is the $9.97 business blog.
You just said it's not a blog.
It is, technically, but allow me to elaborate. It's based on the common open source platform WordPress. However, for those of you who've seen it, I think you both have, it's not the WordPress interface. I pretty much moved that to the side and replaced it with a customer-specific one that says, hey, Mr. Restaurateur, here's your menu. You want to add an item for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Can you imagine how cumbersome that process would be in WordPress? It'd be 8 steps. 8 steps. Do you think Tony over at Capri Deli is going to want to go through 8 steps, or he's going to want to say,
Hey, I don't got a computer in the restaurant.
Exactly, Tony. That's why I made it easy that when you're over at your cousin's nephew's house, you can click here and it'll say, Tony, what menu item do you want? And I could have it say, Tony, what do you want? We have made it fucking easy. And I only caused to highlight a point, kind of like a big yellow here. It is by purpose. And I know that what we have gives you several things. One, it's going to look really good. 2, those who worked in real estate that know everyone has a canned website, it's not that. These are all customized by me. Now, is this a custom piece of art by Eloy? No. Compare it to this. Go and buy a suit off the rack and have it tailored to your needs. That's me. You're looking to have a custom suit built? That's Eloy. Why is mine more money? Well, let me tell you. Mine contains 3 months of Regillo hosting at no charge. Mine contains,
So this one.
yeah, search engine optimization.
Okay.
Different style.
Yeah, it's a
So
whole
it's not
different
part of
thing.
this Can we
It
still
is-
sell that package in addition to that?
Yes.
So this package, this SEO is different from the SEO that you
That's
guys
my
do.
SEO. That's some of my goodness in there. Yeah,
Okay,
it's a
yeah.
The
separate offering.
$4.97 doesn't get any SEO. It just gets a website thrown up there.
And
Well crafted, but just thrown up there.
correct.
And now
With
what
a-
do I do?
You spend another $4.97 and you get your entry-level SEO pack for $1,000. You may be better off with the Eloy Alex combo, but if you just say, I don't know, I just want a content management system for my business with everything in one, okay, we got that too. But you got to pick from one of these 12 designs. Done.
So basically, if someone had, like for example, the guy I went to go see yesterday,
Yeah.
he had like weekly specials, so he could basically go in there and say,
Right.
here's my weekly
That's the point.
specials on my site.
Yep.
That's the point. For
Thank you.
$1,000.
For
That's-
$1,000, he has a content management system for his industry. That's cheap. How am I doing it for so cheap? Well, I bought the licensing from other companies to do this. I'm hoping I sell enough of these that my aggregate dollar investment is dispersed endlessly. However, I'm excited just to have these resources. Wait till you see the login on yours when it's completed this week, and you'll be blown away. I was hoping to have it by today. Unfortunately, time commitments for the today.
All right.
What you're going to see, and the reason I'm not pumping it hard, wait till you guys get your own blogs for me, and you're going to be able to sell it naturally. I think you'll be selling me on what better ways to sell it. You're going to say, Darren, you didn't even mention this. You're right, I didn't. I didn't know that you found that valuable. However, that's awesome. Let's sell it more. $9.97, custom CMS. I'll have you the documentation on next Monday's team call. Right now, I want to focus on selling these
Yeah,
gentlemen.
we're doing Mondays.
Huh? Well, then I guess it'll be on
Friday.
next Monday's Regillo.us. Mr. Tutt has a question, sir.
We don't do Monday calls anymore.
That's correct, sir. It'll be on Regillo.us on Monday. Thank you
Okay.
for the correction, sir.
Like, wait, hold on. Maybe I'm at the wrong place for a second.
It's also important to note that those specials that we have there, we're hoping those are more entry level. I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing that we don't do,
Yeah.
and that sounds.
Feel
Yeah.
free to upsell if they want.
That's naughty.
Here's the
Yeah,
deal. This is
but
our. This is
You
our.
can do anything. That's just
Yeah.
like Darren likes to say, bite size,
Sampler.
packages, so that they can get their foot in the door.
Do not sell
After
any.
a 3-page website.
Don't sell anything for less than $1,000. If you have to, sell something for $500,000. I mean, the whole bottom line is, yeah, we have a low-end offering, a low-priced offering, and we want to get you in the door. Once they spend $500, if they can't spend $500, leave. Seriously, guys, don't waste your time. You know your compensation schedule. What are you earning with the $500? You're getting something decent. What are you earning with $100? Well, you walk away with $20, and you can buy 2 pizzas on a Tuesday with that, which is valuable, but it's not going to pay your mortgage.
Shit, I can't buy 2 pizzas with that over here.
No, not in Brooklyn. Only on Tuesday we get the 2-for-1 deal. So, the whole key is we have awesome services. We have more resources. I brag about my 18 awesome outsourced team. Well, I'm sure Eloy's got a whole bunch of friends who do art. He already whipped out the other day that his younger sister's an artist. And better than him.
No, I never said that.